Welcome back, Eagle Eyes on Tech. I'm Eagle Falcon. You know what you haven't heard about in a while? Amazon Luna. Remember Luna? I remember. Luna is Amazon's attempt to cash in on Stadia. And well, it's now available to everyone in the US, whether you want it or not. It's available to you. Woo! Who's actually excited for this? I feel bad because I signed up for the beta and I wanted to go ahead and try it on stream, and then I forgot about it. Completely forgot about it. Just poof. Never again cared. But it is out, and the way it operates is odd, because it basically operates under a subscription model, but for like various channels. So you're paying multiple subscriptions. Like Luna Plus is $6 a month. You get access to a bunch of other games. If you have Amazon Prime, you have Prime Gaming, which means you get access to other games, to another section of games. There's a retro channel that you get access to for $5 a month. There's the Jackbox channel that's $5 a month. By the way, don't do that, because after, what would it be? I'd say it right now to buy every single Jackbox game if you time everything correctly and buy on sales. You could have every single Jackbox Party Pack game for roughly $50. Like, it is comical how often Jackbox has sales on their games, and you can just pick up large chunks of the Party Pack collective for like literally more than half off. It is not hard to get a hold of those games. The Ubisoft Plus costs $18 a month. Oof, that's pretty rough. And honestly, these whole things don't seem all that bad, except for one thing. It's all cloud gaming, which means you have to deal with latency. So then I ask, do you really want to deal with that? Like, really? Really? Because I'm willing to bet you don't. I mean, quick, show of hands. Who wants to deal with latency on their gaming? Right, in the case of the Jackbox games, it's not going to matter a whole lot. It's mostly, you know, trivia and party games where being a couple fractional seconds late on an input doesn't matter a whole lot. But outside of that, I really don't want to even play Castlevania in the retro channel with a fractional second input lag. It's gonna be a tough sell. So, good luck, Amazon. Not for me. Thank you very much. All right, I didn't think we were going to be able to get to it, but I proved us wrong. The Apple event. You know, it's funny. This is the first time that this podcast is going to be on YouTube. By the time this segment comes out, this Apple event will be over and done with. I mean, let's be perfectly honest. I have no idea what it is. Of course, we're recording this on Sunday. This episode is in this Apple event's on Tuesday. I fully expect it to be all about the M2, the second generation of the Apple Silicon chip, and they're probably going to push 4 nanometers as like its big selling point. Like way back in the old days. All that mattered on processors was clock speed. even though AMD was beating Intel on performance with much lower clock speeds. That's all they cared about. Because bigger number is more number, more better. Well, now, of course, there's been a huge push against Intel that they couldn't get below 14 nanometers for the longest time, that lower nanometer, more better. So Apple's going to go ahead and push lower nanometer is betterer. Even though Intel is in the works of proving that wrong. Now, that being said, I actually do expect the second generation of the Apple Silicon to, at least on Apple's paper, be much, much better. But if you've learned anything from me, it should be to be skeptical. Be cautious, be aware, because you don't know what is going to really be the performance numbers from these processors. I could predict, this clock speed about this kind of core count. But the unfortunate thing with Apple, they never give us hard numbers. You know what they give us? It's 2x faster than it's 70% more betterer than competition. Yeah, someone in chat says 30% more. 30% more what? It's just 30% more. And I'm willing to bet a lot of what they're going to compare it to is still going to be Intel Macs. And you know what the problem with Intel Macs are? Intel Macs run on 14 nanometer processors that Intel was very lazy with, and Apple was very, 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 very lazy in designing a cooling solution for. My personal favorite is still the MacBook Air that has a passive heatsink and an exhaust fan, and that's it. But Intel failed Apple, and that's why Apple abandoned Intel. Just a reminder that Apple is perfectly content making a defective product just to make their next generation seem that much better. Here's what I will predict from this event. I will predict a MacBook Air with the new M2, a new designed Mac Mini that'll be even smaller, potentially even looking like the patent that just came up. I'll talk about that in just a little bit. And I will also predict the Mac Pro. Or the iMac Pro. Someone in chat asks, fanless? I think the MacBook Air will be fanless. I think the Mac Mini and the Mac Pro will both have fans, especially the Mac Pro. Mac Mini actually could be fanless. It could be. But I doubt it. That is at least what I think is going to happen. All right, but what's this patent I'm talking about? Well, we might see this as a potential redesign of the Mac Mini. How many of you remember the earliest Macs, or at least saw it in your history books? The ones where the entire computer case had a keyboard built into it. Well, back then, keyboards were much more bulky, but you could easily put in a pretty cool running PC in it since, back then, the microprocessor wasn't exactly a computing monster, and in fact didn't even take that much power, and most of the PCs back then were cooled passively. Well, if you were to do that now with an ARM processor, you could probably get it pretty thin, right? How about the exact same size as the current wireless Mac keyboard, but instead of the battery, it just has the computer there, and it just hooks up via USB-C or USB 4 to the monitor. It could totally do it too. USB 4 would totally provide the bandwidth to power the I/O on the monitor. It could totally provide enough power to the power sipping ARM processor. You could have a desktop that looks like a super slim, sleek monitor, because of course it's just the monitor. There's no compute in it. You don't have to worry about any sort of iMac-ness going on. And then the entire keyboard, where it would be a wireless keyboard, now is just the computer. It's an interesting thought. I wonder if it will actually be real. It is an interesting design, to say the least. That would just be all keyboard, just connected. Those watching the actual video, I would ignore this picture here that shows, and it's actually talking about the Asus E keyboard, a similar concept device where it has like a touchpad on the side. Yeah, I don't see that catching on. Whether it happens or not will be absolutely fascinating, to say the least. But I mean, other than something like that, what would a redesigned Mac Mini look like? Using an M1 processor, it can get pretty crazy small. It could get to about the size of, I'd say safely, an iPhone. A regular iPhone, not an iPhone Plus or an iPhone Max. Just a regular size iPhone. I think you can get about that small safely and still cool it, even passively. It'll be an interesting event, and I do actually plan on doing, well, obviously I plan on doing coverage of that. And you'll be hearing it first, of course, on the early Burb briefing. Now, with everyone and their mother trying to go ahead and get in on the electric car game, who would you say are the two least likely people to partner up? Well, first let's grab Honda, the car manufacturer that everyone forgets exists. And then we need someone else. Who's an electric company that we keep forgetting does something other than video games? Who does a lot of oddball stuff, but we primarily know for video games? Oh, how about Sony? Yeah, Honda and Sony apparently plan on building an electric car together by 2025. What? I mean, everyone else is making them. Why not at that point, right? Just go ahead. Just everyone build a freaking electric car. I'm gonna go build my own electric car. Heck, you got someone in chat says, yeah, the PS6 is gonna be built in. Someone else in chat, you can now play your favorite PlayStation game in your car. Man, good thing Microsoft is involved in this. Could you imagine the chaos? Sir, were you driving your electric car while playing Forza again? No, I swear I wasn't. Does the PlayStation have a racing game built into it? Or not, or like a racing game that's known to the platform? Like Microsoft has had Forza for a while. And the only reason we know that Microsoft has Forza is because they refuse to let us forget it. That should be the free space on any Microsoft Xbox announcement. Forza. You make your bingo sheet, just like put, oh, new Fable game, update on this, update on that. Their free space should be Forza. Every time, 100% of the time, Forza. Forza, Forza, Forza. And with that, folks, I bring you the last burb. The last story of the day. The weirdest story of the week. It is another electric car. One with a feature no one ever asked for. Ladies and gentlemen, the Polestar 2 electric roadster with built-in drone. Why? Yo, dog, I heard you like driving, so we let you drive while you drive so you can drive your drone while you drive your car. Who? Why? Who? Just, what is the possible market for this? Who is gonna actually go ahead and get a 2-seater electric vehicle solely because I have a drone built into it? And it's not like someone in chat said it's for someone wanting to pretend to be James Bond. It's not like it have any weaponry or anything. It's just gonna have a camera. It's gonna go up and watch you drive. Is that what this is built for? Is this built for the Forza enthusiast that wants to drive their car from third-person view? Is that the target market for this? The people who somehow can't drive a car normally, but absolutely need to drive their car in third-person view? I will give it this much, though. Trying to parallel park from a low-riding roadster vehicle is certainly going to be infinitely easier in third-person view. But I just wonder a whole lot of nonsense. Folks, that is going to do it for this episode of Eagle Eyes on Tech. Thank you so much for listening or watching if you're watching this on YouTube. And I hope you watch the other segments as well. And I do encourage you to check out the daily podcast, the Early Burb Briefing. You can find that at anchor.fm/Early Burb Briefing. You can also check out this podcast at youtube.com/Eagle Falcon. And check out my Twitch page, twitch.tv/Eagle Falcon. Take care, and I hope you have a great day. Oh yeah, and the episodes we didn't cover, we'll go into the bonus episode, anchor.fm/Eagle Eyes on Tech. We got a lot to promote nowadays. Dang, we're everywhere. So as impressive as the drone car is, Tesla needs to step up their game. The competition is incorporating drones. Tesla, what you need to do is you need to have your next Tesla Model S. Actually, no, this could be the X. The Tesla Model X. Open up the gull-wing doors, launch your own drone swarm, collaborate with the Boring Company to equip each drone with not a flamethrowers to attack those who decided to cross you. I'm telling you, Elon Musk, it'll definitely end really well and not in a massive lawsuit that I will watch while eating popcorn.